Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, October 24th. This video, we are looking at the DraftKings and FanDuel Monday Night Football picks. Let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it for the like button, subscribe if you have not already. It's a great weekend for football, especially on DraftKings. Went 4 for 4. Early hit 120.2 for hitting cash games. The main slate hit 159, cashed in both sites. Afternoon put up 171. And Showdown cashed last night with an 87. FanDuel Showdown also cashed with a 74. So good weekend for football. Carried into tonight's showdown. Let's get started. You can follow on Twitter for updates and recaps at the DFS Process. Check out the website if you want to join, dfsprocess.net. Starting off, we'll look at some snap counts for some of the main pieces, the main positions. So tight end wise for the Patriots last week, we saw Hunter Henry play 97% of snaps at tight end. He did have a really good game, caught a touchdown pass. He's pretty affordable this week, so on the showdown, I like him. And then Smith played 43%. He's in play for like lots of large field tournaments as a potential flyer. Jacoby Myers, Parker, and Thornton played most of the wide receiver snaps. It doesn't look like Bourne's going to play, just played 4 snaps, and then Aguilar is questionable right now. If he returns, you'll probably take some of Thornton's snaps and some of Parker's snaps. Myers' role is pretty secure. Running back, you saw Stevenson have to carry the load for the last couple of weeks because of Damian Harris missing. So he played 86% in week number 6. If you go back to week 4, last time Harris was there as well, along with Stevenson. It was basically almost a timeshare with Stevenson. Does have the edge, and I would expect him to have the edge again tonight for probably like 60-40 split or maybe 65-35. Then if we look at the Chicago side at running back, we know they're looking to get Herbert potentially more involved, but they still really feel good about Montgomery just with the blocking that he gives them. He played 78% of snaps last week. Look at their wide receiver snaps. It's Mooney, and then you got a couple of guys with St. Brown and Pettis as the next two, and then you have a little bit for Smith Marset. But Mooney is the guy you probably want to look at, and then for showdowns at least, like these guys are now in play because they're playing more than half the snaps and they're cheap, and you're looking for a touchdown out of those guys, and if you get them, you'll be looking and sitting really nice. And then tight end Cole Kmet still hasn't really got anything going yet this year, but he's still playing 90+% of snaps at tight end. Currently, the Patriots are favored pretty heavily in this one. I think it's like 8.5 potentially is the line. So looking at possibly a 4-2 build with 4 Patriots, at worst a 3-3, and maybe at best a 5-1. Starting off with some looking at the captain's plays, Stevenson is the most expensive play on the slate. I still like him on DraftKings at this price tag. I don't know if I want to use him at the captain spot with Harris being back and with him being the most expensive player. Probably like getting to maybe Mac Jones a little bit better at the captain spot. He's back after missing some time. And you know he wants to play well, not only to help the team win, but his job could also be on the line because Bailey Zappi played really well in his absence, and Jones kind of was struggling before he went out with injury. So if he starts off poorly, then you could obviously get switched in the middle of the game. But right now, it looks like Mac Jones will start. Harris is 12-6 in the captain spot. I probably won't get to him. Just coming back from like missing a week and a half. He played a little bit in week 5 before he got hurt. I like some of the guys cheaper. Like you have some wide receivers to consider. Both Mooney and Parker look appealing. Parker should get more snaps, especially if there is no Aguilar. Last week he played a good amount because they were missing Aguilar, and we'll see Aguilar practice in limited fashion, so if he's in, he'll take some of Parker's snaps, and he's pretty cheap in the flex. He's only 58. He'd be a guy that you could consider. And then both tight ends are cheap, but I like Cole Kmet less than Hunter Henry, with Henry being just a couple hundred more both play a bunch of snaps, but finally starting to become more involved in the offense over the past couple of weeks. Hopefully that carries over with Mac Jones at the quarterback position. And both kickers look appealing. Just seems like one of those games where you don't have 2 great offenses. Good to see both of these kickers become involved early and often. Nick Folk's been great this year, 10 of 12. He's had a couple of really, really good fantasy games. He had a 5 field goal game against the Lions. The same thing for Santos. He's done a pretty good job as well. He's had some good games here, 14, 15 fantasy points recently. And Bourne is 3K. He's not expected to play, so you can skip over him. Possibly look at Jonnu Smith at 24. Just hope that he can get a couple of catches. He's playing You know, probably about half the snaps as Hunter Henry will be playing. And that's the main pieces on DraftKings. Looking at some builds, we can do one with, I don't even mind doing like a kicker build at captain. This could be one of those weeks where the kickers both have a bunch of field goals. So if we do put Nick Folk in at captain, we're able to get to Fields, able to get to Mac Jones, able to get to Stevenson if you want to pay up for him, able to get to Jacoby Myers as well. And we have 4,200 left to put in the other kicker in Santos. So this is, normally I don't go with the kicker at captain, but it's just the nature of tonight's game is just not that appealing. So this one is definitely one to consider. Another one is going with like Hunter Henry at captain, who's $7,500. He'll free up some money. So get to Mac Jones, still get to Justin Fields. Try to get to Jacoby Myers, about 7K plus. Get to throw in one of the kickers and Folk at least. Now you have 97. Just missing out on the couple of guys that are above 10K. So instead you can probably throw in like a Devontae Parker here. And have about 71 if you upgrade from the kicker. Trent Thornton is the one guy you could look at. You're doing a 5-1 build if you do something like that. But I definitely could see the Patriots winning pretty easily in this game. Another captain build will be going with the quarterback. One of the quarterbacks at captain. Fields gives you probably the higher upside just with the rushing, but I still like Mac Jones and the Patriots more, so I lean to him at the captain spot. But I'm still looking to get to Justin Fields on the other side, just with the rushing ability that he give you at times, and it's pretty tough to pick between some of the other like offensive weapons on the Bears. So put in Fields, put in Mac Jones, put in Hunter Henry. St. Brown is cheap. Pettis he was nice in the showdown last time they played, and he was necessary to win tournaments. We have 66.33 left. Put in Nick Folk at 42. See if we put in Cairo Santos as well. We're going to have a lot of money left over. We can put in Stevenson here. Keep 500 on the table. Pretty solid build, I'd say. Don't have too many room to upgrade this, just based on the pricing. Unless you want to take Santos out and put in St. Brown. But don't really like doing that. And then the final one we'll look at is one with Stevenson at captain. So Rodmore Stevenson, Jacoby Myers, guy I like, feel confident just with his playing time on the Patriots. Those two, put in Fields, Mac Jones. We have 2,700 left. Probably going to have to do some dumpster diving for some value. Velus Jones Jr. He's not playing too much. He's built like the fourth wide receiver. You're going to hope that he can maybe catch a touchdown, but don't really know how confident he can be in that. But if you did want to take a stab on him, leave you with room for to put in Cairo Santos. But just something probably a bit tough to do. Might have to take out Myers in this build, put in Henry at 5K, and now you can go with Santos and Nick Folk. So another pretty good build, which you're leaving no money on the table, but you get to a lot of the offensive players on the Patriots side that you want to with Mac Jones, Henry, Stevenson. Miss out on Myers, but still feel good about this one getting to both kickers. So in terms of core plays, we'll see what I end up with going at captain. Not exactly sure, but would say Hunter Henry is probably a core play. At 75, Nick Folk's going to be a core play. At 44, like Mac Jones, sub 10K. And then on the Bears side, get to at least Justin Fields. So these four, I'll probably end up with some configuration of them in my lineup. Definitely Hunter Henry with how cheap he is, but don't know if I'll play him at captain yet. That's what I got for DraftKings. Go ahead and take a look at FanDuel. Alright, so on FanDuel, MVP spot, you have Fields, most expensive guy. He's only 500 more than Mac Jones. And then you have Stevenson at 14, so he's cheaper than both quarterbacks, which is probably what he should be with the return of Damian Harris this week. Then Montgomery's 13.5. I like the Patriots running back, and well, definitely Stevenson more than Montgomery. He's probably a better play than Harris, though. Myers is 12K. He looks better to me than Mooney. Not looking at Herbert too much at 10K. Thornton is pretty expensive at 9K. Rather get to the kickers. Rather go cheap for like a Hunter Henry or a Devontae Parker, who are both in the 8K range. So on both sides, Hunter Henry is probably one that I'm looking to get to just with how cheap he is. Cole Kmet 75 is also in play. And then 6,000 for Dante Pettis. Hope that he can get you a touchdown again, but he's had 2 touchdowns, and then in the middle of that, he's had done absolutely nothing. See if we put in Fields, put in Mac Jones, potentially a captain. We're left with almost 11.5 left for the last couple spots, 11,250. Put in Myers. We have 10.5. It's where you can put in the defenses. I do like the Patriots defense more. Put them in. Didn't really look at them on the DraftKings side, but on FanDuel, they're more expensive than some guys like Thornton and Santos and Folk, but could see them doing some damage against the Bears. So it's definitely something you can look at. One build. Another one is if there is no Aguilar, then you're probably going to look to get to both, like Parker and Henry, and then you'll be able to get to like Stevenson here, get to Fields, and get to Mac Jones. So this one looks great as well. It's a Patriots stack, but that's just what the game looks like. The kickers, they're more expensive than Parker and Henry, so at least on FanDuel, they're a little bit less enticing to me. But if I had to get to one of them, I still prefer the Patriots one, obviously, with them being favored and projected to score more points, and he's done a better job this year of kicking in terms of field goals made. So, core plays for this one, probably ended with one of the Patriots guys at captain. Don't know if I'll be able to put in Justin Fields at captain, but I'll have him definitely in the flex spot. And then $8K for Hunter Henry is just really cheap. That's something I'll probably end up doing. So these 3, not the most exciting showdown, but we have to go with what we have on the schedule. Hopefully next one's more exciting, but that's what I got for both sides. Thank you for watching. You can check out the NBA video. I posted that last night. And stay tuned for more videos throughout the week. Best of luck. I'll catch you all next time.